daily wager stuff, Bear Stanford Steve, lots of great stuff over there, youtube.com/ESPN Sports Betting. A bit of a controversial decision last night that we might want to talk about. It's Wednesday, so we begin with let it ride or cash out. Mr. Fulghum, we're going to start with a heavy one for you.
Okay.
No easing into this hot tub. Let it ride or cash out. Kevin Cash, see what I did there?
I did.
Kevin Cash, the manager of the Rays, cost Tampa Bay the World Series by pulling Blake Snell out of the game in the 6th inning.
Just a big, fat, juicy cash out. All right, let's start with this, Joe. Tampa Bay Rays had like the second or third lowest payroll in Major League Baseball this season. We know the Dodgers had one of the highest. And the Rays won more games than any other team in the American League. They made it to Game 6 of a World Series. They surpassed all expectation and were one of the second best team in Major League Baseball. By the way, they were going up against a team that I learned this today. The Dodgers were favored in every single baseball game they played this year, regular season and postseason. That's
every single game?
How good the Dodgers were. We know.
Also how bad everybody else was, apparently.
Well, even against a great Rays team, this Dodgers team just stacked. They were prohibitive favorites. They should have won this World Series. But specific to Game 6, we spent all day yesterday before the game started on every show on ESPN, digital or over the air, talking about how...
You were on every show on ESPN?
I was on every show on ESPN. It was a long day.
Simultaneously.
That's why I fell asleep during the... We talked about how great, dominant Blake Snell is, innings 1 through 4, the first 2 times through the lineup, and how awful his numbers are the 3rd time through the lineup, innings 6 and on. And we said, all right, what's Kevin Cash going to do? Run him out there. Hopefully he gets a great performance like he did the first 4 innings in Game 2, where Snell had a no-hitter, but then allowed multiple runs in the 5th inning. So here is all I'm going to boil it down to when it comes to Kevin Cash.
I'm ready.
I have no problem with you saying, you know what? In the moment, look at your eyes, Blake Snell, or look with your eyes how good Snell looked, how off balance the Dodger hitters looked.
The old eye test.
Yeah, the old eye test. I have no problem with that. But what I have a problem with is you challenging Kevin Cash, relying on the process that got the Tampa Bay Rays to Game 6 of the World Series against the LA Dodgers. This is what they've done all season long, and it worked for them. I have, again, no issue if you're like, why wouldn't you just leave him out there? But the process had worked, and they had trusted this process, and it got him to this point. If you want to maybe go at Kevin Cash, why not? I think a better way to criticize him, or more appropriate, is the choice of reliever that he went with instead of Blake Snell.
Passionate. Tell me how you really feel, the kids would say in that situation.
I
don't really know how the technology works.
Here, I'll get it off there for you.
A pen and a lot of other things. I am with you, but I also have to do this, and then this line, and then boom, look at your boy learning. Cashing out as well. This might not make for great TV, but it does show you that we're both nerds and we side with the analytical element of this. You're right. It's what they did all year. If what you did all year got you to Game 6 of the World Series, suddenly it's just, I'm going to go with my gut today, everyone, and then you're going to explain that to the media when you blow it. Couple key points. Key point number 1. If you want someone to blame the lineup. They scored 1 run last night.
Love that.
In the 4 losses in this series, Tampa was outscored dramatically. I had the number in front of me at one point, but I don't have it now. I think it's like 24-8. In their 4 losses, they were blown out. So that's problem number 1. Number 2, if you leave Snell in and he gets shelled, everyone says you're an idiot. How could you leave him in? What are you paying these relievers for? Go back to 2014, the NLDS. It's the Los Angeles Dodgers playing the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals win this series 3-1. In those 4 games, Clayton Kershaw made 2 starts. In innings 1 through 6 of those 2 starts, he gave up a grand total of 2 runs.
Right.
In inning 7 by itself, he gave up 9 runs. 3rd time through the order. And this led to the whole Kershaw can't get it done in the playoffs. Well, they kept leaving him out there. And people figured him out and they shelled him. Right. So now you pull a guy like Snell out because you don't want to have this Kershaw narrative and everyone's up in arms. I think he made the right decision. He just had a bad result.
Exactly.
Also, by the way, congratulations to Los Angeles Dodgers.
What America likes to do.
Probably should have led with
We
that.
don't like process-driven analysis. We like results-driven analysis.
We also like to complain a lot.
I love it.
Twitter's so good for that.
All right.
Let it ride or cash out number 2. The Sixers, the Philadelphia 76ers, are very close to hiring former Rockets front office architect Daryl Morey. Let it ride or cash out.
I'm going to let it ride. Woo. Similar to how the Tampa Bay Rays were able to maximize their ability with limited resources. Daryl Morey has mathematics, analysis on his side on a way to play basketball in the modern NBA to maximize your efficiency. And now he goes to a team that I think is going to be very interesting given that background of wanting shots close to the bucket or three-pointers. Ben Simmons can't shoot three-pointers, but he can get to the bucket. And the drive and kick game, if you're able to put shooters around him and Joel Embiid, could be very, very dangerous. We know defensively they'll be better than Houston just because they have Embiid in the middle. If Embiid can stay healthy, he is a MVP caliber, defensive player of the year caliber type of player. So I think this is right. I think they got the right mind to try and maximize the resources they have there in Philly.
Could you erase that circle for me?
I can do that.
And then I will try to get myself involved in this conversation. When it comes to Daryl Morey to the Sixers, am taking nothing. I'm a Sixers fan. This is ridiculous. Let's work ourselves through the last 10 years of Sixers fandom.
What?
You hire Sam Hinkie as your general manager. And Hinkie comes up with this great slogan, trust the process. We're all very excited.
Oh, we're process-oriented people here.
Because we stink. The Sixers stink, but we're going to trust this process. So they lose, and they lose, and they lose. And I think to myself, this is brilliant. You branded losing. You gave losing a reason to live, so all of us bought into it. You acquired Joel Embiid and Nerlens Noel and all these pieces that didn't work. You didn't get Jason Tatum, but it's okay. Markelle Fultz might go on to have a good career for someone else. But you eventually realized you weren't willing to see through this process. You didn't have enough time. You were impatient. So you fire Hinkie and you bring in one of the Colangelo clan, and go spurner accounts and all this garbage later, blowing up half the plan. Elton Brand comes in. You derail the entire process, set it back years, and then decide you're going to go find Sam Hinkie's mentor and hire him to clean up the mess. Can't we skip the middleman? Just go from Hinkie to success. It's like the underpants gnomes in South Park. Collect underpants gnomes, question mark, and then profits. Well, question mark, why'd you go through Colangelo? So nothing. No let it ride, no cash out.
That's a cop-out.
Cash out on the organization. How about that?
Oh, so you're just a mad Sixers fan.
It's
basically.
Ridiculous.
That's all that diatribe was.
It's a smart mind. He's going to help the team, but good God, we wasted so many years.
Okay, but at least they didn't double down on their mistake. They realized the mistake they made and let it go, and then went back that route.
All right, let it ride or cash. I'm going to need you to erase all that mess too, please. Let it ride or cash out. The Seattle Seahawks, despite Sunday night's loss to the Arizona Cardinals, are still the best bet to win the NFC West.
I'm going to cash out on that, and I will admit I am a Rams fan, but I will say this. The terminology of that prompt, they're still the best bet. No, they're the favorite right now, and this is a wide-open division. They can't stop anyone and play defense. So taking the odds there, the Rams, the Cardinals, and the Niners are all better bets because they're right there in terms of probability, and you're getting a much better return on your investment. So they may be the best team in the division, but the prompt said, are they the best bet? No. There's three other teams that are better bets.
Johnny Cochran me. Johnny Cochran right now.
If the Seattle Seahawks do not fit, you must bet someone else. Okay, I tried.
Pretty good.
Didn't work. But yeah, all three teams are better bets right now at this point in time than the Seahawks. I'll work on it while you handle yours. I'll try and
set me up.
think of a rhyme.
I'll just go ahead and just add on.
All right, hold on.
I am also.
Oh, you're all over on cashing.
I'm not a buyer in the Seattle Seahawks. I never have been. I think they're good. I don't think they're great. I think their numbers overblown.
Agreed.
They're 23 of their last 28 games have been one-score games. They're 17-6 in those games. They walk a very fine line, and they're so dependent, like the Packers, so dependent on the quarterback. If the quarterback is not great, they cannot be great. The defense gave up over 500 yards against the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals have a good offense. This defense stinks. They're giving up 480 yards a game. You can't be a legitimate playoff contender, deep contender, especially in a division like that with no defense whatsoever. Russ threw 3 interceptions. No one was there to pick him up. No one. And when Rodgers struggled against Tampa Bay, no one was there to pick him up either. You got to cash out on it. I love Russ, but there's not enough around him. That's the problem.
If the Seahawks cannot defend the pass, that bet is as fragile as glass. Oh, God, I'm sorry.
That's, you know what? Sorry. You got there. You got there, and I think that's all right.
They did add Carlos Dunlap from the Cincinnati Bengals.
Jamal Adams is getting healthy.
And so maybe the defense gets better. But as far as being the better bet in that division, no, not right now.
Let it ride or cash out.
Okay.
Antonio Brown, you've heard of him. He plays wide receiver now for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let it ride or cash out. He will have a successful run with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I mean, I'm just going to go on what Antonio has shown, and it might not even be because of something he does in the locker room. or the football field. I'm going to cash out because Antonio is shown to be volatile off the football field. And if he has another type of run-in with the law, some type of domestic disturbance, anything, you know how short his leash is going to be with this organization and with the NFL disciplinary offices. So I'm just going on what he's shown. The trend he's shown in the last 2.5 years is that he's not going to be able to stay on a football team. So I'm going to cash out. If he's able to keep his you-know-what together, it's going to flourish with Tom Brady. Let me delete that for you.
Our technology here.
I'll delete it for you.
And I appreciate it.
There you
That's
go.
teamwork. I'm going to let this baby ride. I'm going to let this thing ride all the way to the Super Bowl. Do you know why? Because I don't want them to win the Super Bowl. I don't want Tom Brady to win another Super Bowl. I don't want Tom Brady to be right again. You cannot have everything. The looks, the girl, the money, and the athletic talent. You just cannot have all of that. And he's got all of it. And now he's going for it again. And it's going to work. He's going to bring in Brown. And a lot of people use this narrative. Well, Tom Brady's not going to let him get in trouble. And it's like, yeah, that's really nice of Tom. He's going to mentor him. He's not going to mentor him. Tom just wants him to help him win another Super Bowl. He's a part of Tom Brady's legacy. Brady's not going to jeopardize his legacy on Antonio Brown. I think he's been away from the game long enough that he's probably learned at least something. He's making just over $1 million bucks before the incentives kick in, if he hits the incentives, which means he's on the veteran minimum. He's probably going to try to play for some money down the road. I think it's going to work. And I hate the fact that it's going to work. That's why I say let it ride. Brady is not going to let this fall apart. This team is just too good, and it's going to annoy all of us.
The dynamic
Brady Bills in the Super Bowl.
The dynamic that fascinates me the most is Antonio Brown and Mike Evans. Because even though the Tampa Bay Bucs are winning, I don't know how happy Mike Evans is that the ball is being spread out as much as it is, and he's not getting force-fed. And now add another mouth who is a volatile personality and who will command a lot of volume. I wonder about the Mike Evans-Antonio Brown relationship almost more than anything else in this offense.
And you don't even mention Chris Godwin, who's one of the best receivers in the league
but
last year.
Godwin's a more subdued personality. I think Evans and Brown more volatile personalities.
All right, let it ride or cash out. Look who's back in the news. The great Bo Jackson, the famous poster with the shoulder pads and the bat and the great Nike sneakers. He's back in the news. Look at this quote. Quote, I don't see nobody hitting or wrapping up. Everybody's running into each other and trying to use their shoulder pads to knock the ball carrier down. And I'm like, if I played during this era, man, I'd be averaging 350 to 400 yards a game, end quote. A ridiculous statement because, well, in Tecmo Bowl, you could probably...
Yes.
Actually, yeah, in Tecmo Bowl,
yes. If we're playing Tecmo Super Bowl,
Bo
Jackson could easily do this. In real-life National Football League, American tackle football, cashing out so hard.
Cashing out on this one?
I'm cashing out. And I love Bo. I think Bo is one of the most gifted human beings as far as athleticism that's ever graced the planet Earth in the history of mankind.
All of us kids learned what a hip was.
Exactly.
Bo Jackson.
But Bo, as fast as you are and as big as you are, those athletes are now common. Derrick Henry runs as fast as you and is bigger than you.
Great point.
You know, you have linebackers like Bobby Wagner and Devin White and Devin Bush that run 4.40s at 240 pounds. Those type of players didn't exist in the 1990s and 1980s when you played in the NFL. Now they're littered on every roster. Now it's the standard to the bare minimum threshold to get in the NFL if you're going to be a linebacker now is essentially being 240 pounds and running a 4.5 40. So I'm sorry, Bo. Whatever you think about the way that the modern athlete tackles in today's NFL, there's no chance you would even have one game with 350 or 400 yards in today's NFL. You wouldn't even have one game.
There are a lot of individuals in their late 30s to early 50s who are going to be very upset with that commentary.
I love Bo Jackson. Again, maybe the
That's not how that works. You can't go, I love Bo Jackson and cut him down.
Well, he just said something stupid. I'm going to call it like I see it.
Maybe he was exaggerating.
Stupid. Okay.
So what? Like, we haven't done that
Could he average 100 yards per game? Yes, that's reasonable. That's reasonable.
I am going to, on this, I'm going to be cashing out as well.
Okay, yeah, you got to start using the blue. Yeah, the red
it's too much for me.
That's easier to see.
I'm cashing out because I don't think Bo Jackson would have even played football in this day and age. If he's playing now, I think as a star baseball player and a star football player coming up, Bo Jackson's going to think, I can go to Major League Baseball, not risk any sort of crazy injury, or at least to the extent that Major League Baseball players get hurt. And I could eventually get through arbitration, and I could make, hundreds of millions of dollars playing outfield and slugging 300 and mashing home runs. He'd fit just nicely. Or I can go play football where running backs don't even get paid anymore. So if he's not going to switch positions, I don't think he plays football. Maybe he goes and plays basketball because back then basketball players weren't getting paid like they are now. Maybe Bo could have been a great basketball player, but I don't even think he plays football in this era. That money's not worth it, and the hits are not worth it.
A little intellectually dishonest how you managed to or approach answering the question, but I like it.
I like it.
I like
without
what you did there.
answering the question.
Because you're right. He probably would go play baseball.
Would you rather? That's what we're moving to now. One simple question today on this nice Wednesday. Would you rather pick the Lakers to repeat as champions in the NBA or the Dodgers to repeat as champions in Major League Baseball? As we all know, city of LA is now apparently title town. None of us have to say in that, but whatever. Congratulations to LA. The weather and the movies and all that.
I would like to see one of the football teams continue this trend in LA.
The Rams.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
But we're working too much Rams conversation into the show. I was going to talk to you after the show about this, but would you rather?
Lakers. For me, it's the Lakers. We haven't seen anyone repeat in Major League Baseball in the 21st century. It hasn't happened since the Yankees back in the late 90s. We have seen since the turn of the 21st century, the Lakers three-peat and go back-to-back on separate occasions. We have seen the Spurs never went back-to-back, by the way, which is crazy. We've seen the Heat, led by LeBron, go back-to-back, and we've seen the Warriors win consecutive championships.
3 and 5.
So it's way more common in the NBA to see teams go back-to-back because individual players can have a higher impact on outcomes. And baseball is a higher variance game over the course of a 7-game series, whereas NBA games, a 7-game series is enough of a sample size to flesh out who is better over the course of that time. So LeBron and AD, their first year together, win the championship. They're only losing Dwight Howard and Markieff Morris to unrestricted free agency from the playoff rotation. They have the mid-level exception, which is $9.5 million roughly that they can offer to a veteran.
It's a nice chunk of change.
Exactly. So I expect the Lakers to be better than they were this year. And with LeBron and AD getting better together in tandem, they're, to me, the easy pick.
Little roulette bet.
Oh,
I will
you're
be
going
going the other way. I will be
Warriors,
taking the Los Angeles Dodgers. It's a really good question because both teams have an excellent opportunity to pull this off, and I don't want to knock anyone down. But when I'm looking at the Lakers, I think the competition in the West is going to be so much. The Clippers will be good, maybe not great. The Warriors are coming back. Do not overlook them. They're 8-1. They're worth the price of admission. Denver, Utah, Dallas on the rise. Who knows what happens with Houston? OKC on the rise. There's a lot you got to get through there.
Sure.
With the Dodgers, it's 8 straight trips to the playoffs, during which time they've averaged 95 wins per game. That was prior to this year because they don't have a 162-game season. This year, they won over 70% of their games. Better winning percentage than any of those previous years. They were built for success in the past. They're built for success now. They're built for success in the future. Nothing's going to change. Are the Giants or the Rockies all of a sudden going to start making noise in the West? The Dodgers are still going to be good. Look at who's coming back. Buehler and Kershaw are back. Seager, Bellinger, Mookie Betts. They're going to lose probably Justin Turner and some other guys. But the reality is they're loaded.
I agree with all that you said there.
Then we can just end right there.
Chances that we remember that this was a roulette bet,
0.
When
the winner will
8 months from now.
The winner will remember. The loser will be like that. We never did that. You're making that up. All right. Rookie quarterbacks. A conversation in 3 parts.
Ooh,
if I channel my best.
A beginning, a middle, and end.
Chomsky, shall we say. I don't even know if that applies. We're going to start with Tua Tagovailoa, the rookie quarterback out of University of Alabama. He is making his debut this weekend against your Los Angeles Rams. Tua. 3.5. The spread is down to my earpiece, the golden earpiece. Wow. What are you going to do with that game? How do you think he's going to perform?
I'll say this. I think Tua is going to perform capably, but the Rams have not been a good matchup for opposing quarterbacks. He did have a bye week to have 2 full weeks of practice with the first team to get those reps before he makes his first start because they did not play in week 7. But the Rams are a defense that suppresses quarterback output. We saw it against Nick Foles. They've done it to every NFC East quarterback, even when Dak Prescott was healthy and had all of his weapons around him. Remember that Dallas offense mustered just 17 points because the Rams have Aaron Donald, who can put pressure up the middle, and they have tremendous athletes in the secondary. Jalen Ramsey, John Johnson, Darius Williams. Unfortunately, they lost one in Terrell Burgess, but they have a great secondary. They have the most dominant pass rusher in the NFL, and that's not a good recipe, I think, for Tua Tagovailoa. I don't think he'll embarrass himself by any stretch of the imagination, but I would not expect him to come out and look like Justin Herbert in this particular matchup.
Oh, that's a bad throw. Great snag. Table doesn't go down. Look at this guy.
That's Al. He was an Allentown, PA quarterback.
That's
so that was a receiver
true.
just helping him out there.
True. Very nice.
I had to go Darnell Mooney.
I'm laying those points.
You're laying those points?
I'm laying those points. I wasn't sure if I was going to do anything with this game, and then it hit me today. Like a ton of bricks, laying the 3.5. I like the spot for Miami. You've got 2 weeks to get Tua up to speed for his first start, right? So he's dissecting the Rams.
Right.
But here's the other thing. What are the Dolphins going to do in the eyes of the Rams? There's no tape. There's no tape. There's no evidence of what this offense is going to look like. You know what the Ryan Fitzpatrick offense is going to look like. Rams do not know what the Miami offense is going to look like with Tua under center. There's going to be some wrinkles. That's number one. Number two, look at the spot. Miami, 2 weeks to get ready. The Rams just played Monday night and now have to go all the way across the country for the fourth time in 7 weeks.
That's scary.
The Eagles, the Bills, Washington, and now Miami, 4 times in 7 weeks. I cannot believe that they got that kind of schedule. But I love the spot for Miami. I am going to take the 3.5. I hope it gets a little bit higher. I don't like the fact that it's dropped from 4, but that's where we're going to be at. Miami's defense, very quietly, by the way, second in the NFL in yards per point.
Yes,
behind only Baltimore.
They have the 32nd ranked run defense DVOA, and the Rams have one of the best rushing offenses in the NFL.
Irrelevant.
So
we're going to stick with my stat.
Consider it.
The segment ends on my stat, second in yards per point. The rest of that stuff was just hearsay. All right. Justin Herbert has been crushing it for the Chargers.
Beast.
Everyone's in love with him. He's the favorite to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, minus 170. Are you riding with him? Is that the price you want to play at?
No, I don't, because Tungo Vailoa could come in and do something very impressive. Joe Burrow is not out of this. Joe Burrow leads the NFL in dropbacks. No one is throwing the football more than Joe Burrow.
I got to interrupt. Look at that picture. Why is he so angry? Why is he so angry? He's in Los Angeles.
I'm sure Justin is living a pretty charmed life right now.
Phenomenal hair.
Charmed
he's in
life.
Los Angeles.
6'5",
he's millionaire. He's the favorite.
240. Youngster.
There's no pressure playing with that organization. You can lose every game. No one cares.
No, but this is not over and done with.
Lighten up, Herbert.
I would like to bet Joe Burrow here or Tungo Vailoa. I think that's better value or a better.
Is Tua going to play enough games?
Yes,
he has to be
absolutely.
so
Yes,
good.
No, he doesn't. Herbert, who has been phenomenal, if Herbert goes into a slump and Tungo Vailoa just plays well, that's enough to win this. And then there, of course, is Joe Burrow, who I think is actually the best bet right now. Again, leads the NFL in dropbacks. Cincinnati is scoring points. They can't stop anyone, so they're always going to be involved in shootouts.
That's true.
And it's not like the Chargers are winning more games than the Bengals. The Chargers are 2-5. I think they're a better team than the Bengals. Don't get it twisted. There's some nuance and context to that. But these teams both could end up with 5-6 wins, and Burrow could have vastly superior stats.
Burrow's completing 66% of his passes this season. He's playing fantastic, and he's playing in the toughest division, or at least one of the top 2 toughest divisions. He's got to go against the Ravens and Steelers, who are legit, and the Browns, who are much better. The thing is, Herbert's had so many marquee games over the last month.
He's been great.
You see him. You saw him against the Chiefs. We saw him against the Bucs. We saw him against New Orleans, and everyone's watching. No one sees Burrow. You never hear from Burrow.
I'll say this.
Joe, where are you?
I'll say this about Herbert too. He's played in difficult matchups. The Bucs defense.
Yes.
Some of the defenses that he's played against, and he's balled out. So not only is Herbert just putting up great numbers, but he's doing it against some of the best defenses in the NFL, and that's why he has been so impressive. But I do think right now Burrow is still a good bet based on that value.
The dude, Herbert, is on the precipice of upsets over Kansas City, Tampa Bay, and New Orleans. If the defense gets some stops, they win all 3 of those games. It's incredible.
He's been remarkable.
Last one for you when it comes to rookie quarterbacks, potentially the Rookie of the Year next season, if he decides to join the ranks of the National Football League. Look at what Trevor Lawrence from Clemson had to say. Quote, "My mindset has been that I'm going to move on, but who knows? There's a lot of things that could happen." End quote. Now, I don't know if he borrowed that from James Joyce or Socrates. And by the way, what's with all the great segments of hair here? Herbert or Lawrence? Whose hair are you taking?
Oh, I mean, Lawrence that's worthy of getting some kind of shampoo deal. In the NFL, you know, like we see Troy Polamalu.
But Patrick Mahomes is in those commercials.
Yeah, but Lawrence is going to be the face of probably a significant franchise if the Jets or the Giants in the biggest market, and like someone's going to come call us.
That's how a quarterback's supposed to look, by the way. You see him smiling?
Yeah,
it's because life is good.
Life is pretty
good.
Take
a page out of his playbook,
Lawrence.
Herbert.
I bet. Am I buying Trevor Lawrence coming back for? Can I cash out on that? I know we're not doing it, but can I cash out? I'm going to cash out on that. No, Trevor Lawrence. Be shocked if he's back for his senior season. It's happened before, so it's not a
Bradford.
Matt Leinart as well did it. So I just and it didn't work out for Matt Leinart, but Trevor Lawrence would be wise. I would suggest Trevor Lawrence, after you dominate college football again this season, you go start making money for it.
I think
if you already have it.
This is essentially a great leader saying what he's supposed to be. That just registered with me. Saying what he's supposed to be saying. What are you going to say in the midst of a championship run and a Heisman run? I'm definitely leaving, baby.
Yeah, right,
I'm out of here.
Exactly.
Why would I stay here and play with these idiots when I can go get paid? No. This is what you say as a professional. You come out, you make smart comments. I don't know. You never know, everyone. Now Clemson's excited. Now the locker room's excited. And then at the end when you leave, everyone knows.
Right. He had to deliver. This is college football speaker. This is like, we know what's happening here, but start making that money.
Speaking of getting paid. How are we going to get paid tonight? There is nothing to bet on. Baseball is done. Hockey's been done. Basketball's been done. There's no college football. Maction, where are you? Maction, this is where we need you.
Can we bet on what I'll get for dinner? Is that possible? Can we make a market for that?
Are there odds? What are you planning on having for dinner?
I got spaghetti noodles and sauce at my home, so that's probably like a -180 favorite.
Doesn't really sound all that enticing. All right.
I'm missing a few ingredients, though, to really doctor up the sauce, so I'll probably stop on that.
So I got something for you.
If you have something you're going to bet.
I found something for you. I even took about a third of a page of notes. That's all I was willing
to do. Are we going Russian table tennis? Are we going – I know it's a big night in MLS.
It is a big night in MLS. Taylor Twellman's got a pick for you coming up.
Oh, okay. That's a tease.
Snooker.
Snooky?
Do you know what
Jersey
snooker
Shore?
is?
Are you watching Jersey Shore tonight?
Snooker. Not Jersey Shore.
I believe it involves a pool table.
There it is. The pool table is slightly bigger. The pockets are slightly smaller than your average billiards table. Now, I really can't explain much more. There are different colored balls. There's the numbered balls, and then there's like
a lot of red balls, which
I can't really tell you anything else.
Is there still an 8-ball?
But I've been doing my research, and tomorrow morning there is the Championship League Snooker 2020 Stage 2. It's a qualifying event, or a ranking event, as they call it over there. I won't bore you with the details, but it is across the pond in England. 8:30 a.m. Eastern, 5:30 a.m. Pacific. We're taking Jamie Clark plus 400 over John Higgins. Now, Higgins, he's a wily veteran.
Oh.
He's been around for 29 seasons. He's got a 69% win rate. He's fantastic. But after his last victory over a Frenchman whose name I cannot pronounce, he said this, quote, "I was happy to get a couple of wins because confidence is quite low right now." He admitted confidence is low. He's ripe for an upset. Enter Jamie Clark, winner of Group 28 by 10 points. These two, this is a revenge spot. Clark and Higgins met back in 2014. It's the only time they went against each other. Higgins won 5 frames to 4. Now, this is 3-way betting, so a tie, we lose. You can bet the tie. We're taking Jamie Clark, 4-1 over John Higgins tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, 5:30 a.m. Pacific. How do you feel about that?
I marvel at your degeneracy.
Thank you, sir.
I like the fact that you really dug deep and found out what was going on in Higgs' personal life.
Half a page of notes.
Yeah,
the
confidence that Higgs is carrying from his home life onto the snooker table, into the arena. I don't know what that means, but you're giving me a great value here at 4-1. How do I watch? You got me. You hooked me. You snooked me. By hook, snook, or crook, you got me here. So how do I watch? Where are we watching this? I'll go throw a unit on Clarky, on Clarks, on Clarker, on Jaime.
Here's the problem. Little problem, just a minor problem.
Okay.
Not sure how to watch it. Not sure. Haven't gotten that far yet. I just needed to get a
Probably going to need some illegal streams.
Well, possibly.
Possibly an illegal stream.
I'm not going to admit to that here. We're going to find a nice legal stream. If I have to pay for a fee, I'll pay a fee. Taylor Twellman's got a more conventional pick for you. Take a listen to this.
Tonight, the Portland Timbers host LA Galaxy, who have lost 7 of their last 8 games. But more importantly, they are in the midst of the worst 4-year span in franchise history. So what's the remedy? No Chicharito again tonight. So Guillermo Barros-Schelotto, the manager, is not only fighting for the playoff life, but also for his life as manager of the team. Now, I understand the Portland Timbers don't have Sebastian Blanco, and they won't have Jeremy Ebobisse, but more importantly, they are at home fighting for home field advantage in the playoffs with the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. I don't expect a ton of goals in this, but I do expect the Portland Timbers to walk away with 3 points.
Whatever, Twellman. Where's your notes?
Yeah, all right.
I got notes.
I'm off
Where's
snooker. I'm going Twellman. I'm going Timbers. I can't bring myself to go snooker.
Great hair. A day of great hair from all those individuals. Thank you for watching. We're back tomorrow to preview Thursday Night Football. Have a great evening.